Welcome back to Discover Talent. Go to space for practical. Let's understand the real world data analytics skills inside the Discover Talent. Today, I'm taking you inside something every supply chain professional should have in their toolkit. Complete step-by-step risk assessment template built directly inside the Excel. We are going to start literally from the moment you open a Excel. How to set up the sheet, okay, merge and format the cells, build the risk tables, also apply a conditional formatting, visualize risk using a charts, okay, which is available inside the Excel, and finally automate the entire workflow so you can reuse it anytime. Okay, also going to walk you through a real supply chain example, supplier failure, port delays, okay, system breakdowns, and show you how to categorize impact, likelihood, severity, and mitigation plan, okay, which is the most important part when we work as a data analyst or maybe the MIS expert in the organization, right? So by the end of this video, you will have a fully functional dashboard style risk assessment file that you can access at any time, right? This is useful for reporting, presentation, or professional audits. Before we start, just a quick note: if you want me to create a same risk assessment template for any other domain, be it your HR, healthcare, okay, education, or maybe public safety, right? Just drop a comment below. Okay, I would love to read them all, create a new risk assessment template for you guys. Again, it's a free of cost. Cool. So without further ado, let's quickly jump on the screen. So, all right, welcome back to the screen, folks. First of all, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Where are you based in, right? So we'll quickly start with the creation of template for risk assessment for supply chain. Okay. So how to start a MS Excel? So first you have to simply click on start button in your Windows or Mac, right? And then you just have to simply open a Excel workbook like this. And then click on this blank workbook option. This is the blank workbook where you will be creating the risk assessment supply chain tracker, right? If in case you are building for any other domain, right, then you will mention that specific project on that title. Cool. So since we are talking about supply chain, so I will just simply type a couple of headers over here. Okay. So I will say this is a supply chain risk assessment. This is how I have created this. And what I'm going to do, I will just simply select this, merge and center, and we'll keep it like this, centrally align, and increase a size, make it a bold. Okay, and then we'll select this entirely and change a color for this. Okay, so we'll keep it for now like this. Okay, you can change that basis your own requirement, how you want to change the color code or maybe the theme you have available, right? So that part again, if in case this particular color code is not really helpful for you, we will be covering that part as well. Okay, for now we're just adding the text we have to use in the risk assessment template over here. Great. Now since we are talking about this, now let me just go ahead and type a couple of more headers over here. So here I will say this as a total risk. Okay. And since we will be adding a couple of entries over here, I will just say this as a medium impact risk. Okay, let's go down here and then say low impact risk. Okay, and again at the top we'll call this as a high impact. Great. So we have added this many entries so far, and okay, we will be changing this entire structure for making bold, changes a color, so on and so forth later on. But for now, we are just adding a text over here inside the Excel spreadsheet. Great. Here we'll be keeping a space available, okay, because we're gonna add a couple of visualization over here. So that's what we have kept this space empty for now. We will be adding a more entries, but before we add more entries, let me just rename this because it is a very important. You can just do a right click or maybe double click and then simply just say risk assessment over here for your this specific tab. Okay, there will be adding a couple of entries, numbers like hazard for supply chain. Okay, if in case you don't want to add again and again supply chain, you can just skip that supply chain. Okay, and who's at risk, let's say who's at risk, and then here we'll call this as a, or maybe the role or process instead. Let's say role or process. Okay, let's go next, and then let's say severity, risk likelihood, and then next is impact level, right? And then assigned to, next is necessary action, and last one is a status. Now since we have this many, and you can see the space is we have multiple space available over here, then in this case what I'm going to do, I will just arrange this like this. Okay, so we'll do a control X and then control V, here again control X control V, like this. Okay, cool. So just adding a one more column here for each line item, so it will give me the amazing space where we can add a ample amount of information over here, right? So this is how I have did so far, and here we'll keep this in this kind of thing, because numbers is any which ways we have 1 2 3 kind of, right? So it's not really making a sense to add it in the next column. So that's fine. So this is how I have added these many columns over here. Okay, once it is done, what we have to do, we just have to ensure that we are keeping this in a very straightforward control B. Okay, because these are your headers, right? So in these headers, what we are going to do, so couple of entries over here. In my case, I have these many entries. I will be simply adding those entries over here, and here we'll say this 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, we'll adjust this as a column. Okay, so this is my column, and we'll just right click over here and arrange it. Now added this kind of a series over here, and then simply select this. Okay, ensure that you are changing the color here as well. Okay, I will be keeping this as a color, and then here, suppose if you want to keep this in a freeze way, right, you can just go here and keep this line as a freeze. I will not prefer this kind of an option, because for me it looks so confusing, and at the time of even printing, right, this is not really helpful. Okay, so I would recommend not to go here, and always to keep this liner as a freeze. Okay, so coming back to the topic, let's adjust the column width, which we already did, right? And if in case there is a value is missing, right, so we'll just adjust it like this. Okay, and then we can see the data over here, right? So this is how the entire thing is, and here we gonna later on merge and center it, and accordingly we get a result over here. Cool. So great, since we have rest of the other things as well to fill in this case what I'm going to do, I will just simply add a this kind of an entries over here. Okay, and these entries are like severity is this, and since our column is changed now, so I have to just manually copy and paste this next column, right? So this is how the it looks, and major injuries like this. Okay, I will just do a control X again, paste it. Okay, control X, paste. So in your case, if in case folks you are again using any different department altogether, right, that time your this kind of text could be different, right? So that's what just make sure that what type of text you are adding, what type of analysis you wish to do it in terms of risk highlighting factor, right? So once we done, I'll just adjust this, and let's adjust this column width as well. Here we are good with this. Okay, so click and then adjust this as well. Okay, let's adjust this as well. Great, necessary action, so on and so forth. This is the details for me, and great. Okay,
So once we are done with this, I will be changing this font size until this. So we have this many entries over here. I will make this as a bold and will ensure that this will be get filled automatically at the bottom as and when there is a new entries get added. Great. So what I'm going to do, I will just arrange this again because it is not making sense. Level we have already like this. Okay. So your text can be visible for you. Cool. So status, since we have to add the status as well, we'll arrange this. Cool. And this is the status over here. Great. So we have added multiple entries over here to save our time, because if I go here and manually type every entries, right, video could be long, like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and I don't want to waste more time of yours. So that's what I have just copied and pasted the data. Again, it's in a dummy data. It can not be a relation with the what we are actually doing it over here. However, just for a learning purpose, we can use this kind of data. Cool. So we are good with this, and then we'll select this again, and let's say this as an alignment. Cool. And here I will go and want to make a conditional formatting to be added over here. Just press Control Q over here. Okay, or maybe you can just simply press here. Quick analysis. I will be pressing Control Q over here, and then text that contains hi is this. Once again, let's press Control Q over here. Okay, and then text that contains it's low. Okay, so that's my red, and then this is the green, I will say. Okay, and this is suppose again Control Q, medium, and yellow. I will call this as a yellow. So this is how I have applied a conditional formatting over here. Great, and we'll ensure that we'll make this entirely Control B. Okay, and this is how it will look. Perfect. So this is how my risk assessment template is looks for now. And again, it is not yet fully created. Okay, it is fully functional. It's not yet done. So we have to add a couple of formulas over here. So now, since we are adding a, here as a table or maybe the chart, so we just have to simply select this option, and let's add this kind of entries over here. Simply paste this to sheet, and then let's call this as a raw sheet here. For the next sheet, we will be adding as one supporting sheet over here. Inside this support sheet, okay, we will be adding a formula. Okay, it's very simple to add it, and we'll do a Control B over here to understand which is a header for us. Okay, and where we have to add a formulas like this. Here we will be adding a formulas. Let's say count if over here, and this selection, which is this entirely. Okay, and let's add a comma over here and type here highly likely. Okay, bracket close, and then hit a enter over here, and then just simply do a Control D over here. Proper alignment over here. Now you can see just 0. Okay, the reason behind is we have to have exact type over here. Okay, here you can see the typo, right? So we just have to ensure that we are adding a appropriate text over here, and then hit a OK button, which is this. Now here we want a likely. Okay, just ensure that you are deleting this, and then hit a enter button over. And then here again, we just have to simply type unlikely and then hit. So here there could be a confusion. We will be understand that no, it's unlikely and likely is one and the same, but no, you can see we have to add one more here criteria, which is unlikely. And then again, as I spoke, we have to add a similar text over here, unlikely, and then hit a enter button over here. And then we get a this kind of text over here. Now, let me just revalidate this entry. Highly likely it's 1. I'll just go here. Highly likely it's 1. Okay. Likely is 1, to T, which is this many. Okay, I'll just go here and then check. Likely it's 1, 2. So it means we have to revalidate this. Okay, so let's go ahead again and check likely if it is coming correct. Right, so I will just double check if the spelling is correct. Paste, paste. Cool. And in the raw sheet, I will simply select this. There can be a white space, so that's what we are seeing, this kind of an entry over here. Count if. Okay, and here we'll go type double inverted likely. Cool. And I got this kind of an entry over here. Cool. So this validation you have to always do it, because sometimes there could be a white space and it is not really reflecting. You ensure that you have to ensure that it's showing properly. Okay, now unlikely how many? It is 1. So just go here, unlikely is 1. Okay, and raw sheet here, if I see unlikely highly, so it is nothing to be do with. I will just simply adjust this. Now we have a fatality, major injuries, minor injuries, and negligible injuries. So since we are talking about severity, so severity is here, right? So this is the severity. So now in the raw sheet, severity, we have to assign this kind of an scores by our own end, right? So what exactly scoring mechanism we are offering over here? So just we have to ensure that fatality will be call this as a 5. Okay, and then suppose this is the 5, then major could be 4. Okay, and then this will be 2, and this is the 1, which is negligible injuries. Okay, so this is the severity score we will be assigning. Again, if in case you are working in the projects, okay, any of the companies, okay, you just have to double check what type of severity we are offering there for the specific task, which means suppose this is the risk assessment and that specific risk. Okay, so what is the severity score we are offering with? So this is the count. I will say this as a count, and this will be again added as a count. Great. So this is how I have added this many entries, and will ensure that we'll add. We'll select this. Okay, simply, and then click on this option. Click here, recommended chart. Will always recommend click on the recommended chart, because it will give you a glance what exactly chart will help you to make your visuals more appealing. Okay, here I will be simply click on this insert chart, all charts, and then click on this donut chart option. Okay, and then we'll be adding a OK button over here. Cool. And at the top I can see this many chart styles available. Like you can select any one, whatever you wish to add it basis your own template requirement. Okay, so I will be keeping very simple. Okay, I don't need a jazzy uh, you know chart style over here. So I will just click here simply format legend, and then we'll keep it at the left hand side, and we'll click on this option, because this is just a labeling, right? For me, what is the labeling we are offering with? So that's what we are doing. So it is not that coming from data we have assigned this, so that is fine. So I will be keeping very simple category name as like this, and then close, then close it. Okay, what I'm going to do, I will just do a control X over here in the risk assessment template. I will be simply pasting this. Okay, and once it is done, what I'm going to do, just right click over here again, format data label series, and then let's decrease this, so it will look like this, and angle first like cool. So this is the major injuries. This is how the alignment will work for me, and I want to showcase what is the data it's showcasing, right? So what is the text is showcasing? So once you can see the text is not really visible, so in this case I'm just going here and simply changing a appropriate color, okay, which will suits my template. Okay, here, and then we'll go here again, change the color to this, keep it bold. Okay, reduce the size, and then we'll click on this format. We'll ensure that we'll change the no fill option, and here we'll call this as a severity score. Minimize it. Cool. So this is how my template will be look like. I'm just intentionally keeping this spreaded. Okay, if in case you don't really like it, just do a control Z. Okay, that's completely your fault. For now, I'm just keeping this as it is. Cool. So my severity score is there, but you can see these borders are shown. So I will be selecting this. I don't really require those. What I have just close it. And then here, it's a very important task. Go into a view and click on this option, grid line off. Okay. So your grid lines will be not visible now. Then we'll ensure that we'll be adjusting this, reduce the size. Okay. Again, align center, make sure your this is a bold. Cool. So this is how it looks, and we'll be adjusting this. So severity score we have done with this. Now uh, we have to add a again new likelihood count, which is this. So in this case, again go to the insert ribbon tab, recommended chart. Here we'll be selecting any bar chart. Okay, in the column bar chart also, right, you can see multiple charts available. So you just have to make sure you are choosing a wisely, which will be adding a value in your chart. So I will be selecting this and then hit a OK button over here. We'll do a control X from this, and then risk assessment, select. Again, the same steps, whatever we followed here, we just simply follow this first, this color. Okay. And we'll delete this because it is any which ways visible, and we'll delete this as well. It will save my space. Go right hand side. Okay. And then here, format, let's change the no outline, and then here, no fill. Cool. And what I'm going to add over here, it's a very simple or to add it. Okay, what exactly it is, you can comment in the below section. I will love to see that what thought process you have it till the time, right? Because you are also watching along with me, so I just wanted to understand what I'm going to add it as a title. Can you please comment in the below section? Cool, perfect. As Rohit said, risk likelihood, we are going to add it over here. So simply I'm going to add it risk likelihood, because any which ways we are just copying that data and then paste it over here in the format of chart, right? So that's what we have did, and it's good that all are attentive over here in the class, folks. Thanks. I'll just delete that part because it is not really required. We'll adjust this, and we'll keep it like this. Great. And cool. So I have the space available, enough spaces there, so we'll keep it like this. We'll arrange it, decrease the size as like we did for this kind of title, right? So likewise, we'll make it for this as well. 11 is fine. Make it this and then decrease it. Cool. So this is how we have added. And if in case you are, these values are not visible, just go here and then just turn on this data labels over here, and then ensure that you will be adding this as a, if in case you wish to add any kind of background in it, which means the fill color. Okay, so it will show you like this. So the background, you can see the color. Likewise, you will be adding a couple of colors over here. Okay, this kind of color will visible your text basically, right? So yeah, again we'll do a right click over here, just right click. My mouse is acting weird, so I have to double click again and again. But I think if in case your mouse is working fine, okay, so you can easily do with this kind of this. So right click again will ensure that fill. solid fill. Great. So for now I got this many entries over here, and boom. So let's double check if we have removed the fill color. Okay, no fill, and then just no outline. Great. So we are good with this. And if in case we want to move this and keep it here, we can keep it. That no harm in it, right? We can easily do that. Okay. So just adjust it like this. Okay, keep it in a way. So it will be visible for you. Cool. So once it is done, we are good with it. Just see next, move to next, control Z. Okay. And then here also. Now here we are speaking about multiple things. So we'll be making sure that this will be a bold, again bold, and then bold. So we'll be selecting this 2 or 3 line items, merge and center. Cool. Select this, do a merge and center. Likewise, we'll select this, and here is a merge and center. Great. So we have merge and center like this, and we'll be selecting this outside border. Okay. Select this again, outside border. Great. And now, okay, this is the high impact. So which means your color should be in red. Low impact, which means should be in green. Okay, so this is the green. And medium impact, so which means this is my amber. Okay, so this is my amber. So we'll ensure that we'll selecting properly, and we'll keep it as an amber. Great. And this is the overall this thing. So I will be keep this as a very basic as the template, and we'll keep it like this. So since we are talking about low impact risk, so we'll simply select this is equal to, okay, and let's type count, okay, and range could be this. You can select any multiple range as well, because your text is going to add it, right? So that's what I have kept it like this, and we'll select, and let's say low over here, and then hit a enter button. Likewise, we'll copy this and paste it at the top. Okay, again here, paste it here. Cool. So since we are talking about medium, then we have to ensure that we have to add a proper formula. Okay, so I think that formula is not pasted. I'll just copy this again. Just go here, paste it, and then let's talk about medium. Okay, medium, and then here we'll talk about high. Now here, if you could observe, your selection went top, right? So we just have to simply ensure that once you add it, you just have to double check with your formula, right? If it is taking a appropriate range. If it is not, then you have to rearrange it, right? Which means from 19 it should be start with. So I will just change it from 19 to L23, or maybe we can increase the range from here to 27 like this, and then hit a enter button. Cool. So any which ways the value is same, but for future references, whenever we add any kind of entries over here, those will automatically get captured there. So we don't want that, right? So that's what we did. And then we'll increase this. Okay, and then we'll keep a constant size 36. Let's assign 36 rest of the others as well, because this is a leadership view, right? Every time your leader will not go at the bottom, add a filter and check it. Okay, so cool. So since low impact will not consider, so here we'll be simply doing a this plus this. Okay, so this is my total risk. So medium and high is a, very important for me. I don't really require low impact risk, honestly. Cool. So that's what I have kept it this as it is, and this is my calculation. Okay, what I have did E7 plus B11, and this is my overall calculation. And once you good with it and you want to add any kind of color code over here, you can do that as well. Okay, it is not that you can't. You just simply select this, click here again, do it. Okay, change the color. for this because it's not really visible. That's what I have did. And then let's change this as well because it should be visible. Great. And then we'll change this again, the amber one. Okay. So this is how it looks. And if in case you want to merge and center like this to make it center, you can do that as well, folks. Okay, let me just put a merge and center. And we'll keep it very simple. Okay, so it will align our overall text. Click and all border. Boom. So this is how it looks. And if in case it is not really visible your text, let me just add a white text over here. Always remember, folks, the thumb rule. Okay, the custom template, it's not like that. No, if somebody taught you like this is how you have to follow, the custom template is that whatever need is yours for your project, your deal, right? You just have to ensure that how you can build it very custom form, right? So you can add a conditional formatting there. Okay, you can also add multiple formattings. For now my requirement is getting fulfilled, so I'm okay with it. Okay, suppose it is not really visible for you, okay, this kind of thing. So in this case you just simply drag it, okay, outside, drag it, okay, and keep it like this. And whenever you do it, just ensure that you will be adding a color over here. Cool. So here, and then cool. Now can you see it? Okay. So this is how you can do it as per your own requirement. Okay, and how it looks and how it feels after creating this will be an amazing feeling. Okay, so here in the last you can see status. Okay, it is showing as a uh, blank. Okay, or maybe there is a nothing to be added. So here what I'm going to add, okay, action taken, not action taken, WIP, something like those kind of status I will be adding. So I'm just selecting this entire thing, okay, status, and then in the data, okay, here there is an option called data validation. I'm creating a list over here. Here in the list I will say action, okay, that's fine, not action, WIP, not started, or not action, that's fine. uh, mm, Hold. Cool. So this four status is okay for me right now. We'll just do a OK button, and then you can see those options over here. Click here. Okay. Not actioned. Okay. And then hold. Click. And then this is the action. Now, once it is done, you just have to simply select this, go into insert, and then conditional formatting, whatever we follow, right? Since we follow it like this, so I would recommend going to the conditional formatting and do it this kind of an activity. Press Ctrl Q, right? Last time we spoke, simply click here, and here suppose it's an action, which means it is in green. Okay, but here we'll be adding a light, this kind of green. Okay, so this action, because it's an action only, right? And if it is not action, it is a red for us. Okay, so click here, and let's type this. Okay, clear this out mess because it's not really required. Not action, this is the, and then if it is on hold, which means it is fine, we'll press Ctrl Q again, text contain, and then if it is hold, which means no action needed, right? So I will be say this is a WIP, and WIP is again complete your call. If in case you want to call this as any different color, okay, click here custom format, and then you can say this is a blue, and okay. Cool. So this is how you can format your entire risk assessment template. It's done. I will be just click here, merge and center like this, and it will be a center for me. If in case you wish to add any logos over here, you can do that. Okay, just go into insert, illustration, and then icons. Okay, in the icon section there are numerous icons available inside the Excel itself. Okay, you don't have to go on Google or maybe any AI tool, right? It's a freeware available inside the Excel only. just go there, leverage those and use it in your template. Okay folks, so since it is talking about a supply chain, so I will say this is a transport and hit a enter button, and we'll select this and insert it. Okay, so this is my and then we'll keep it like this. Okay, so suppose if in case you are not really happy with this, or maybe if in case your icons are different, you just have to simply go here again. Okay, and then just simply select any other icon which is really important for you. Okay, so this is how I will be adding a icons. Again, don't go with my designing part. Okay folks, you can be a better designer than me. Okay, and everybody has their own individual skill set. Okay folks, so I think whatever projects you are working in terms of supply chain, and you want to use any specific logo, just go there and leverage those tools. Okay, and add it. So very simple task, no need to pay any kind of a single penny for any AI tool, searching a templates. Okay, no need to pay. It's a very simple task. It's all about your skills. You are creating your own template folks. Okay, so this is how we have created. Now the last thing, raw sheet, you just have to ensure that this raw sheet is preserved. Okay, just right click over here, hide it. Okay, because if anybody goes there and then change this entire mess, okay, your template will be went off. Okay, and it will not work properly. Just hide it, and once hide is done, just click on this option, tab color, change the color. Okay, and we are good with this, and then we'll be adding a one last final touch up. Okay, so this will be a selection from top, and here will be all bottom, and then I will be just zooming out. You can see this is how it looks. I will be pressing control minus because that's not really required for me. So we are done with this, and since as I have promised, right, you can change this color code basis your brand value. Just have to simply go here, page layout, theme, and then just change the theme whatever you wish to apply it, right? So you can just change it as per your own demand, your color. Okay, and you can just keep it. It's a very simple task to do. You don't have to go here and there and apply every individual color, right? No, Excel have a amazing functionality. You just have to simply choose it wisely and apply it in your template, right? So if in case you found this template really helpful, okay, comment below helpful. It will motivate me a lot to create a more videos like this. Then all right team, that wraps up our full walkthrough of building a supply chain risk assessment template right inside a Excel. If you followed along, you now have a clean professional dashboard that actually supports real world decision making the way data analysis do it. If this added a value to your workflow, make sure hit that like button, subscribe to Discover Talent, and share this with someone in your supply chain or analytics circle. And don't forget, if you want me to build this same template for HR domain, healthcare domain, education department, public safety, or any other domain, if you are working in, just drop your request in the comment section on YouTube. I'm always here to help you level up your data skills. Once again, thanks for watching. See you in the next deep dive.